Hey everybody, Dogbert here. I wanted to talk about Rogue and her upcoming Scourge, and maybe who you want to build and why you want to get Rogue. So obviously, Rogue, being the next Horseman Famine, she is supposed to be a Cosmic Crucible character, or at least her team is supposed to be a Cosmic Crucible team. But when we look at Rogue's kit, she is far from just being a Cosmic Crucible character. If we actually look at it, the only thing that is in Crucible are these two things right here. The 500% extra attack for her special, and if she's on defense, attacking the enemy with the highest speed bar, ignoring taunt and stealth. Other than that, I don't believe there's anything else that says in Crucible. Oh wait, there is one other, sorry. Uh, she applies Safeguard to herself and all unlimited X-Men allies on, so not a whole lot else. Everything else works outside of Crucible. Obviously, this basic is going to be a huge knock on Darkhold. She's probably going to show up, unless her stats are really bad, like she's really slow or something. She is going to definitely be used in the arena, I believe. I'll be testing her as soon as I can get her, depending on what she can do. Just clearing all barrier is going to be nice. You know, those Wongs, if you get stuck behind one of them. Of course, her main power is going to be her special. You know, apply all the negative effects, gain all positive effects, reduce their speed bar 50%, get yourself 50%. It's absolutely insane. It only costs 2. Could there be something else there with like some kind of energy generation to make this go off every turn? That's a thought, but I don't know if we're going to do that. We're probably going to pair her up with Morgan, the Eternals, and Emma. I could see Agatha getting dropped off. And her ultimate is just a, you know, extra there. I mean, you get another stun out of her. You're clearing positive effects. Can't be, it's unavoidable. Can't be blocked. I mean, come on. And never mind the fact that she is going to give herself defense up at the end of every turn. She's going to heal herself for 10% every turn. She gives herself more health. I mean, she's just a crazy, crazy character that you definitely want to get. And of course, we know how we have to get her is going to be a Scourge, and we know that we don't know what the other nodes are, but we know nodes in 5 and 10. It's only going to be Young Avengers, uh, Inhumans, and the new A-Force team. And everybody seems to be sleeping on the A-Force team. Like, oh, I don't want to build them. They're just for war. I don't think they're going to be good. I'll just build Young Avengers. And I think that might be the wrong thing to say. So let's take a look at them. So here in my roster, we have all the possible characters that could be used on nodes 5 and 10. I'll start with the Inhumans. Pretty much the only two Inhumans really worth building that are not Young Avengers, Ms. Marvel in other words. Black Bolt and Yo-Yo. Yo-Yo obviously because of her constant offense down. Black Bolt because he can knock out people and just they don't res. I already have him built because I plan on taking him to D5. He's already level 85. He's already big. There's no reason not to use him, even if I just use him as a sack team. We all know how valuable the sack teams were in last Scourge. The only other Inhuman, if you built everybody else up on your Young Avengers and that are good and A-Force, would probably be Crystal. I don't really see a world where Quake and Karnak add too much value. The Young Avengers is also interesting because we also have Miles here. And Miles being both a web warrior and a Young Avenger, meaning he can be used in 2 Scourges, plus being the top bio raid team, means you want to really want to invest in Miles because of that value he's going to give. You should have him built up already from the first Scourge and for your bio raid team to do Doom raids. So this one should be a no-brainer. Other than that, the other Young Avengers, probably the most valuable out of the next Young Avengers is going to be Squirrel Girl with her heal and cleanse. I think cleanses are going to be a huge thing, and an extra healer is always great. I think that the ultimate team that helps take us down Node 5 and 10 is going to be some kind of hybrid. I don't think we're going to see total Young Avengers. I have Kate here already at level 85 and built up already, so I'll probably use her whether or not she is in the main team or not. I don't know. She doesn't really have great hit points, so she can die fairly easily. I built her up originally to plan on taking her to DD5, ended up not taking her to DD5, but I can use her elsewhere. Echo could be annoying depending on how the Young Avengers do in this node, but I think the real stars are going to be the A-Force, actually. And I'm going to go into a little bit of reason why. We'll start probably with the one I think is going to be the least impactful, relatively speaking, that's Spider-Woman. I do think she's going to have quite a, because of her basic applying defense down to both the primary and two adjacent targets. Defense down is no joke. We know that helps us with our damage. But on top of this, she also gets the ability block and a heal block that she can put out with us offense down. She's just tossing out these debuffs. Can't be avoided, can't be blocked. That special is going to come in quite handy. She can flip positive effects, even though her passive is broken. She does give defense up to the A-Force allies, so if you're using that too. Plus, she does heal herself for 20%. So that gives you a little bit more healing, a bit more survivability. That's on Spider-Woman. Next up, Captain Marvel. Obviously, because of her giving herself binary, and everything she does with clearing evades, maybe that will be useful. But she also heals herself again. Healing herself is great. She gives herself max health. She gives other A-Force allies max health on her basic. Her binary, which can't be dodged, but it can't also crit. She does clear all negative effects from herself, so therefore you don't have to waste a dispel, a cleanse, or whatever you want to call it, on her. If she has binary ready to go, you can clear that. And don't forget, her special clears all positive effects. This is great if you need to get around a taunt. Jessica Jones, I think, is the real star of the entire A-Force team as far as hybrids go that you would want. Her basic being absolutely amazing. That it does have a chance to generate ability energy for herself or a random ally. If you put the T4 on it, it's another ability energy for a defender, A-Force ally, or stuff that was not a full energy. Energy regeneration is quite huge. She is a good energy battery. Plus, she has her special, which is only a 4 cost, where she generates 4 ability energy for random allies. And she generates 1 ability for each defender or A-Force ally. Again, if you're using the hybrid and you have some A-Force allies with her, she's going to give them even more energy. She's going to bury them. And this all happens outside of war, so this is not a war-only type thing. Again, we can clear positive effects where she has 100,000% extra focus. In other words, she is going to clear the positive effects. Again, we want to get those buffs off of somebody. This is a great way to do it, even though this does have a bit higher cooldown at 5. And then her passive, again, if you're using this, plus you also don't forget its additional city allies gain 20% resistance. That would be some of the Young Avengers, I don't know, Squirrel Girl, who you might be using. And of course, you get 40% more armor. You get 30% more resistance. Unfortunately, we don't get the war offense bonus. And last but not least, the sneaky one, I think here, her ability is mostly based on her basic again. It's going to be clearing all heal, block, and stun with Nico Maru on the ally that has the highest damage. This is absolutely fantastic. It's on a basic. You can just hit that. You can get rid of a heal, block, and stun on whoever that highest damage person is. Maybe you're running a hybrid with maybe you're running Captain Marvel. It might be her. Maybe you're running some kind of hybrid with Black Bolt. He gets stunned. Get that off of him. And then you call that ally to attack the primary target on top of that. That's absolutely spectacular. The other thing is on her passive. Again, you get 50% drain with her. She also gives the A-Force allies, again, 10% max health. She's giving herself max health. She gains focus, so she can actually land her debuffs if she's actually going to use them because of the stupid random mechanic. But the random mechanic is interesting because you can get counter, you can get death proof, you can get disrupted. This is the kind of thing where they would love to make Nico the one that is the one we need, because you have to do RNG and have to keep restarting nodes. I could see that happening very easily. That was her special one to get her ultimate, and on the ultimate she flips positive effects. War offense, it doesn't matter. And then eventually, once you use it the second time, She even has a chance to revive a dead ally. This could come in crucial. Again, here we go back to that randomness, or this could be necessary to get through some higher scourges. And this is where you'd want to use Jessica Jones because that's a high cooldown. Again, Jessica Jones generating all that ability energy for A-Force allies and just random allies, period. So my recommendation is don't sleep on the A-Force. Don't just think Young Avengers is going to be enough to get you through it. You're probably going to need Yo-Yo and Black Bolt maybe too. Maybe as a SAC team. It may not be your highest priority, but I would not sleep on the A-Force. I would recommend at this time, since we do have quite a bit of time, I think, yet. I think we probably have at least a month and a half. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see Rogue's event until July, even. That wouldn't shock me, but I think end of June, beginning of July would be the time period. Maybe we have the Scourge event by the time we actually get 6.2. Could even be later. Could be earlier. Who knows what Scrupul's going to do to us. So you definitely have time to build these characters. You still have a lot of time to build these characters. My recommendation would be to get I would take A-Force up to gear 14, level 75. I'd definitely get Squirrel Girl up to as high as I could probably go. She's probably going to be valuable if you're not so sure on her. This goes for any character taking the gear 14, level 75. Maybe then hold your resources like I do. That's how I have so much gold. Hold my resources. If I need to blast into a character I see other people are using her and it needs to be higher level to get to a higher Scourge, I can then pivot. They're already level 75. I might only have to take them to 85. So that would be my advice. Gear 14, level 75 on any character you think will be valuable. I think it's going to be A-Force. I'm going to get them up to level 75 and gear 14 at least. I might take Squirrel Girl up to level 80 or level 85 gear 14. I can always put the gear on her later if I want her gear 15. Jessica Jones would probably be another contender for level 80 or level 85. Black Bolt I already have done. Miles I definitely want to take up to 85 just because dual Scourge character plus raid team, obviously. Yo-Yo is another one where I could leave her at gear 14, take her to level 80 or 85. Because of her offense down, she's always going to be valuable, constantly doing that as long as you don't have another protector. Unfortunately, it means Ms. Marvel's out. So, that's my thoughts, some ideas and some tips. Hoard your resources, essentially. Take them only up as much as you want. Like I said, level 75 gear 14, great stopping point. But don't think you have to do it today. Just do what I do, like I'm going to be doing tonight. I don't know. I'll probably take a Neek and Baru. And that is the amount I will do in one night. 2 levels, that's it. And then I'll gear her. I don't want to spend more than 1,000,000 gold. This is how I keep having training mats. This is how I can blast through when somebody I think is really, really good and I really want to use right now. Rogue will be blasted to level 85 day 1. But that's how I can do it. That's how I save my resources. That's how I have gold. This is how I have training mats. I don't worry about any of this. So until next time, I hope this video is helpful and informative.